Hey all, Jean here. If you have been following me for the last couple of weeks, you would have noticed that I was traveling and not your normal let's go on a vacation travel or let's go on a holiday travel. It was nothing like that. It was traveling to see my friends. Yeah, so was traveling to see my friends, my friend that is sick, and my friend that is in politics, and I seen a couple other people along the way, but here I am back home in Kenmore, and there is something to coming home after a holiday. Well, even if you went on a vacation or you were on like the holiday in Mexico or in, Hawaii or wherever, even if it was your favorite holiday, when you get back home, I think there is an energy that is not there. It's one of the reasons why I think people always say they need a holiday from their holiday, and or they need a vacation from their vacation. And I must say I'm going away again tomorrow, but this time it's by driving. And again, it's not a vacation or a holiday. Tomorrow when I leave, I'm going off to fast for 4 days, and that entails, it's a spiritual fast, so it entails a lot of things that I probably wouldn't share right now. But coming home from a holiday is just, well, from traveling, because personally what I would say I was doing is traveling. I think that I can classify it as one, you're traveling, or two, you going on vacation, or three, you are holidaying somewhere. And I have to make a confession, because you know what? I do not know the difference in going on a holiday and going on a vacation. What is the difference? I guess I don't know. Is it a holiday when it's the holidays, like Christmas time, or Easter is coming up, Easter time? Is that like a holiday? And vacation is when your employers or whatever give you a vacation time. Because I know when I'm at work, I usually have vacation time. Um, and when it's the holidays, it's the holidays. So I'm assuming that the holidays is the ones that is, you know, Christmas, Easter, Halloween, Thanksgiving, yeah, all those kind of holidays, right? That is written in the calendar. And vacation is what you get when you are working and you take a break. That is my take on it, but you can tell me something different, because it may be something quite different in your neck of the woods. But returning home, one, I am so happy to be at home. Like I was so happy to be in my own bed, so happy to be in my own bed, to be in my own environment. I realized that coming home is not just about even coming home to your own bed and your own, inside of your own home. Coming home from your travels is, I think, the reason we say we're so excited to be at home is that it's coming back to our neighborhood. It's being able to go to the supermarket and you know where everything is. You don't have to wander around in a huge supermarket that you don't know where to find your bread and you don't know where to find the cheese. Although it's a lot of fun when you are traveling to discover new things and try new things and do all the things that you haven't done, and you're on a go, 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 go type of schedule. Because for the last week and a half, I would say for the last 12 days, that has been my that has been my way of life. I just been on the go. I'm going here, I'm going there. I'm out walking, I'm getting lost, and I got in my walking and I got lost a lot, but it's a lot of fun because I'm in, somewhere new. And it's always the best to go out and lose yourself in a new environment and in a new place. It's no big deal getting lost there because you have the understanding that you are not in your own habitat, right? um, so those are the things I find coming home can give you, and I know that that's some of what it gave me. um, just the pleasure of going to my own supermarket and knowing where I can find the vegetables and I can find all the different things. I don't have to think about it. But on your travels and let's say a vacation, you do have to think about things like that. You have to think about, um, you put a lot of thought into it and a lot of planning. And you mainly basically have to think about all the things that you're doing. Whereas at home, you don't. You are almost, I am on automatic pilot when I'm in my own environment and in my own habitat. And I'm thinking that you too might be on the same kind of a wavelength. Um, and because of those travels, yeah, yep, I'm wiping my face. You gotta excuse me. I am just, yeah, and because of just returning from my travels and being around so many people and being in an environment where I had other energy attached to me, I'm finding that I actually had to take a nap today. Like literally, I had to take a nap. Thank God I didn't have to come home and go to work. It's so interesting though. My friend, who also I actually met on the airport and got a ride back home with today, this morning she told me that she has to go take a nap before she goes to work, and I'm really glad that I didn't have to go to work today because my energy, which I use up most of earlier in the day, I had to take a nap this evening. And here is how I take a nap. I put myself on a timer. So I put myself on 1 hour timer. So that when that timer go off in an hour, I get up no matter what's going on. But a lot of times when I have nothing to do or no responsibility, I would actually stay inside of the nap. It's very, very challenging for me to take naps in the middle of the day because it takes me longer to get up and longer, to get going to do the things I have to do. So today I took an hour nap. I put myself on an hour timer and I got up and shower, and now I'm here having a conversation with you. And now I am going to go make myself some dinner. But one of the things that I learned, even in my travels and sharing room, with my friend, and actually, I was sharing a room with someone I didn't know. I with nah, I shared a lot of room. I shared a room with a friend of mine's at her house, not her bed, but the room, and I shared a hotel room with a complete stranger, a woman I don't know, but found out we had so much in common, and I stayed in couple places on my own. If you want to go traveling, especially on a vacation, and you find that you don't have the money or you don't know where to get the money to go on your travels or on your vacation, I recommend going with someone else. I recommend, you may have to buy your own ticket, but I recommend finding spaces where you can pay to share accommodation. We are living in a time where cost of living is high, and we cannot get around that. Cost of living is so high, yet our paycheck is really very low. I was talking to a friend today that is moving, have to move, and she hasn't done that yet because she's moving on her own, and the places she can find for rent is over $3,000, and that is like $40,000 a year. And as much as we have no problem paying rent, when you think about spending $40,000 a year just to, to pay your rent, just for your rent alone, nothing else, and you're not making that kind of a money in from your paycheck, it's you have to find ways around it. You got to find ways around it, and you got to find, you know, side job. I think not even side job. You have to get creative in the way you live, right? You have to get creative in the way you live. For instance, for me, I have a roommate, and I have no problem having a roommate. I know there are some of us that is like we don't want a roommate. We want to live alone. We want to have our own space, and I am glad, and that's good for you. But for me, if with my roommate, if I want my own space, I go and hang out in my bedroom. It's the same thing I'm doing, or I'm hanging out here on the couch, and if my roommate come home and I feel like I don't want to be in the same space, I hang out in my bedroom. But my roommate do the same. He hangs out in his bedroom. If I'm in the living room hanging out here, he goes there. If he's out here, I go to my bedroom, because what am I doing? If I'm doing craft, I can take it there. If I'm watching a show on Netflix, I can do it in there. I can talk to my friends on the phone from in there. So I recommend um, finding creative ways to still go on your travels, and creative ways to live in this economy that we're living in. Case in point, I just noticed how much the gas has gone up, period, right? Anyways, I think this is it for this video today. It's all about traveling, and wherever you are, wherever you go, have a good time, be kind to people, do less and be more of who you are. Subscribe to my channel, like my channel, and I see you soon. Ciao.